everyone. How are we all doing on this grey and wet, rainy afternoon / evening? How is it for everybody? How are we all? It's nice to be here this week. We had a few little technical hiccups last week, but we are here, ready to go today. So let's have a quick look. Ooh, let's check if we've got Facebook available. It's always nice to share on Facebook. Let's pop that onto there, and then we can be joined by our Facebook friends. So I'm just going to give everybody a little tiny moment for everything to sort of go out there, and we can go ahead then and look at our projects and see what we've got to work on tonight. I've got a really lovely project tonight. We're going to be doing chainmail, and it's a really nice, I'd say it's a nice easy weave once you get your head around it. It's inverted chainmail, inverted captured chainmail, and I'm going to show you in a moment. And this is going to be coming with a PDF and instructions, video instructions, PDF, and also obviously some lovely kits. So I'm just going to give us a little moment for everything to catch up. Okay. And let's see what's going on. So in the in-between, I'm going to bring my camera over. Hi, Rachel. So Rachel says, good evening from a wet barrow. It isn't very nice today, is it? It's quite amusing. We were doing sun catchers on Wednesday, yesterday morning, and now we're looking outside today, and it is wet, miserable, and drizzly. But I did put the sun catcher that I made yesterday up in my window, so when that sun does come out, I shall get some sparkles. Hi Mina, how are you today? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and show the project that we've got for tonight. It is a lovely kind of classic design, I think. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have got the lovely, we've called it the Cora bracelet, and it's this beautiful captured inverted chainmail bracelet. These kits are absolutely beautiful. Now there are 3 variations. I do have the 3rd, but I'm going to be making that up tonight. I'm going to be honest with you, I had it half made up, and we'll talk about this in a moment. And I accidentally broke the section that had the beads on it, and so I now have a section of inverted chainmail, which in itself is a lovely weave, but without the beads. So I am going to talk about that in a moment, but we do of course have the 3rd colorway, which is going to be the lovely silver and purple. Let me move my tools out of the way so that my screen doesn't have a meltdown. It's horrid in Leicester too. Yes, I have, Mina. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. First of all, thank you so much. It's so lovely. And there's a reason I haven't responded, just because Kayla wanted to say thank you. So I'm going to send you a little picture, but I will do that later on. It's just been a little bit flat out today. But I have a very, very happy daughter, so thank you so much, beautiful, and I will send you a little picture. So yeah, thank you very much. Hi Carol, how are you today? So let's go ahead and go over and have a look at the kits that we've got here. So as I said, we've got the beautiful gold and green, a really classic combination, the lovely sort of champagne gold and a pearl, sort of like your ivory pearl color. And then of course we do have, and as I said, we did have a mishap with this one, but that was a user error. But I thought actually I'm going to keep it because it's interesting to show you the chain out of the without the beads inside, and show you how that looks as well, because inverted round mail is in itself an actual weave. This is captured because we put beads inside it. Hi Elaine, how are you? So what we're going to do is go ahead and have a little look. We're going to go head over to the website now, and I can share with you how you can get hold of these lovely kits. So let me remember how to share the screen. There we go. Okay, so as always, you go over to totallybeads.co.uk, and if you look, you go down to, oopsie, let's go onto the totallybeads.co.uk, and then you'll see video tutorials here. And and we'll click on this and you will see the Cora beaded chainmail bracelet. So we had the sun catchers from yesterday. Really loved that project, even though, and I'm glad I got it in when I did, because it certainly has lost that sun at the moment. Mina says she hopes she can make this. I think you will be absolutely fine making this, Mina. And again, I know that you're looking for your fun pride projects. Imagine putting multicolored beads inside this, like rainbow beads, and then just having the chainmail going around it. That would be really cool. So you get your tutorial, your YouTube tutorial, and then you have your lovely kits. And as I said, you have got 3 colorway variations. I think there may be an, oh, just, is that 1, 2, 3? Oh, I mean, there might be a few extra variations actually. Ooh, we did do this project a while ago, so there are different variations. I just don't actually have them to hand, but you do have this beautiful variation here. Oh, look at that. Great for your gents jewelry. You're sort of like slightly alternative. If you just like black, you don't like a lot of color, great colorway here. You have enough in each of these kits to make 2 bracelets, just to confirm, for £6.99. So that's basically £4 a bracelet. No. So you get you get basically 2 bags of your 8mm, which are your outer diameter jump rings. So 2 bags of your 8mm outer diameter, which equate to a 6mm inner diameter jump ring. You get your 6mm glass pearl beads. You get your toggle clasps. You get your Tigertail, and you get your crimp beads. So you get all of this, and you get your toggles as well. I think I said that, to be able to make your lovely bracelet. You could, of course, make a necklace if you wanted to. Go for a nice chunky necklace. Here we have our champagne and gold. So this is the one I have in my hand here, I believe, which is your 8mm jump rings. Again, 2 bags. Sorry, it's not 2 bags. It's 3 bags. 3 bags, not 2. So 3 bags of your 8mm outer diameter jump rings, 6mm pearl beads, toggle clasps, Tigertail, and your crimp beads. And again, enough to make 2 bracelets. Plus you do get, oopsie, come on. Plus you do get a PDF as well to go with this. So here you have your green and gold. So you've got your green and gold variation here. You then have your chainmail bracelet, the dull silver. It's not dull silver, it's your rhodonite kind of color. Rhodonite. No, I've had a brain block. Rhodium. Rhodium. Gosh, you can tell it's getting towards the end of the month, can't you? Oh no, it's not. It's the beginning of the month, end of the week. It's been a very long couple of weeks for me, and my brain is very much excited for holiday mode, so just got a bit confused. So here you have your rhodium jump rings with your gorgeous purple glass beads in there, and you can see the section made up there. Then of course you have, oh, that's your rhodium. Oh, it's a dull silver then. I'm not sure. I'm confused. You have your rhodium jump rings just here. Okay. And then you have, oh, where did it go? Your rose gold with this lovely dusky antique bronze color glass pearl. And then finally your bracelet instructions. Oh, I think you can download the instructions for $1.99. I'm not sure. I will clarify if they are part of the kit or if they're an additional download. So I will confirm that. But for now, let's go ahead and have a look. So I will confirm if that. I do assume then that the download, sorry, is an additional $1.99 for the download of the tutorial. Okay. So let's switch this over. So for $6.99, you get enough to make two bracelets. So let's go ahead and see what we need. So as I said, you will need some Tigertail and some crimps. You will need your toggle clasp and you will need your jump rings. Now you will need all of your jump rings opened. Now, if you are like me and lucky enough to have a child at home who is child that is at home and mooching about, I actually got my daughter to open all my jump rings for me. I was like, can you open them? I'm going to start off, show you how we start this weave off with just a couple of different colors, and then we will go into just using one color. Okay, so the beauty of this is that you can actually make a starter section. What is a starter section? I have a little pot of starter sections here. These little acrylic blanks you can get on the Totally Bead website. I think I've mentioned them before, but they are great for doing your little starter sections of your weaves. You could keep a certain have one for a certain weave, and then you've got little starters, so they're really great for that. Where did I put my starter for this? I'll put it in here. There is a PDF, but I think we have to purchase it separately. I'm going to confirm that, okay? So this is my starter. So I could keep this on this little acrylic blank. So if I just look for the acrylic blanks as well, I think they're called a sieve. Yeah, so if you looked for sieve pendants, and I'll just go and show you what I mean by that. Let me show you. These little blanks are great. They're £1 for 2. Get them in a couple of different colors, couple of different shapes, just absolutely fantastic. They're all come in two pieces. So yeah, you want the acrylic pendants. They're classed as a pendant, but I actually just use them. I think they're great as a starter block. They're lightweight, they're solid, and they are great for like I said, having that starter connection. So what I like to do is have that starter made like I have here, and then I could just go ahead with my preloaded beads and just pop it straight onto my starter, start my weave, and then when I remove it, I can just keep that starter on there. It's quite handy to have. Okay, so what I want to do is start off at the beginning. As I said, you need your jump rings all open, apart from I think like literally maybe about 4 to be closed for the very beginning. You then want to load your your pearls, your glass pearls, onto your tiger tail. You want to crimp them on one end, and I'm going to crimp them on the other end. So I've got my different sections in. Remember, I had my little plastic lunch, but this was what I did the nail polish project in. So I have just kept them in equal sides. So I've got everything in here. So I just got to find myself one of my crimps. Where did you go? Crimps. If not, I do have lots of them mooching about, but it's just handy if they're there. There's one. So pop your crimp on. Now I believe I had 30. I can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. So I've got 30 of my beads on. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Elaine. So I'm going to just fold this over so that the wire bead and thread just goes through, so I can secure this as a complete piece. Let's give it a little word with it. There we go. You want to keep a little loop because you do need to attach this to a jump ring. Give that a little flatten and just snip that crimp. So you don't need to watch me put a load of beads onto a string. They're already done for me there. So that's part 1 to do. Okay, so the next thing we'll do now, I'm going to be honest with you, there are several ways to start the beginning of the inverted weave. Okay, there's a way where you can put 3 jump rings together and form it into a little flower and then connect them. I'm going to show you, and that's in the previous demonstration. So I'm going to show you a slightly different way, and this is the way that we've done in the PDF. So I do recommend starting with slightly different colours. You can make your piece a little bit too long and then unpick the end, as I said. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a silver. Okay, and I want to put onto my silver, which is opened, 3 closed jump rings. Now I'm doing this in alternate colours because I do find it easier to start this with different colours. You can do it with the same colour, and I would do it a couple of times with the a couple of different colours just to be able to be confident with it. Okay, make sure they're closed properly. So we've got that there. So I can see I've got my silver, and the reason I've gone with that is because then I can see my golds. And what I'm going to do is turn them so that you can see how they're kind of laying flat together. Okay, a bit like a flattened coil. Okay, now we are going to add 3 more jump rings to these 3 here, but we want to add them into certain places, and so I'm going to get a little pin and I'm going to show you. We want to basically collect these 2 together, so the middle will be collected in both of the new jump rings. We're going to add 3 new jump rings. The middle will be collected by the first and second new jump ring. So if we open them slightly, when you do chainmail, we often talk about what you call about the eye, where 2 jump rings cross over and they give you almost like that little eye, and you can see it just here. So our new jump ring wants to go through the eye of jump ring 1 and 2. So we go 1, 2, and 3. So our new jump ring wants to go through the eye of 1 and 2. But if you kind of hold it like this, I find it just helps you to see quite clearly. So taking a new jump ring, and I'm just going to go through the eye. Technically I've just collected 1 and 2, but if you think of it as going through the eye, just find it easier to it helps me get my head around it. And then I'm picking up that single jump ring again, and then when you hold it back together like this, that's fine if that jump ring moves out of the way, we don't mind. I can now see I want to go through the eye of 2 and 3. See how that number 1 jump ring's lifting up slightly? That's good, it's out of my way. I want to go through the eye of 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to take a new jump ring. I'm going to go through the eye of 2 and 3. Notice that when I let it go carefully, keep it all nice and controlled, and then I'm going to come back, try and find that first single jump ring again. And so you'll see, it can get confusing. That's why we try not to drop it, but it is fixable. There you go. You always want a jump ring that's got 3 jump rings attached to it. There it is. So it's a little bit like playing, you know, one of those puzzle cubes, but basically that's why I like to keep the sort of initial jump ring a different color. So even if I was doing the whole chain in one color, I would always do that first jump ring in a different color because it helps me to find it. And I know it's the only jump ring that's got 3 jump rings on it. Okay, so hopefully that helps and makes sense. So we've currently got our jump rings added to the eyes of 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and then we just want to go ahead and add 1 more jump ring. I'm turning this around because I know that I went from my right to my left, so I now just want to add 1 more jump ring, and that just wants to go onto jump ring number 3 but on its own. So just onto jump ring number 3. So you can look at your jump rings here, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just going to add it to jump ring number 3. Do not use your fingers like I just did. That was very naughty of me. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, and 3. Might need to just check it because I jumbled it. It just takes a moment of time just to do this. I'm going to just come back to make sure I've got that 100% right. Once you've got it started, it's actually probably one of the easiest weaves, but it is just getting it started and making sure you don't let it drop. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. So I've gone through 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and I just want to go. I'm going to come around the back. I just want to go through jump ring 3 again and close. And then I don't want to lose that pattern. Where's that jump ring with the 3 again? Do you know what? I sat and practiced this before I came on here, and it was all absolutely fine. And in the moment I go for a camera, it likes to embarrass me. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. It took a moment, but we're there. 1, 2, and 3. So can you see how it's now got 1, 2, and 3 on it? Okay. So it's going to almost look like they're interlocking. Okay. So basically, jump ring 1 went through 1 and 2. Jump ring 2 went 2 and 3. And jump ring 3 just went on number 3. So what we want to do now is take another jump ring, and I want to, if I hold it and let it drop, what I want to do is almost try to connect these into a circle. I want to add jump rings to connect these all together. So I want to go through 1, and I'm just going to go through 2 jump rings. If you place it down, you might find that easier. Okay, so it's just going through the 2 jump rings. I'm going to turn it around because I want to connect another 2 jump rings. All this is connecting 3 jump rings together. It's just getting them in the right way. So I've gone through again, I've gone through 1 and 2, so now I'm going through 2 and 3. I'm placing it down so it doesn't too jumble. And then I just have one more section I need to connect together. So I just need to bring 2 more together, so you can see, you should be able to see the 2 outer. I do apologize, my husband's just come home. The 2 outer silvers, bring them together, and then I'm just going to add those. You do have to have a little look and see. Actually, these ones will be better. You can see that there's nothing on them, and I'm going to connect those 2 together. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just drop them down, and they should be in a nice little section. If they're not looking right, we can just quickly undo one and just make sure, where did we go wrong? That's connected, that's connected, and that one's connected. So they should all be working fine. I'll tell you what it is, these 2 have crossed. So I'm just going to check them and see why they're not playing the game for me. So bear with me one moment. Right, sorry about that. So you've got your connected like that. Just Problem when everyone comes home, isn't it? Okay, connect. And if you keep it all nice and steady, if for any reason they're not quite working as they should do, basically you need to connect. Oh, my dog's just coming. The two together. It's actually going to come from the behind and connect these, and then connect two front. You're just connecting them all together. They're just not playing the game for me today because, of course, they know I'm on TV. There we go. So because I went from behind that time, I know it does. I'm going to restart it because there was a few distractions. Sorry. You can go 1 and then 2. So what happened that was wrong was they just placed in the wrong place. So I'm going to go back and show you that again, because that's actually ready to go now. The end that we want are the last 3 to be opening out like so. Okay, I'll put a fan on because it's quite warm now. So I'm going to try and just do that bit again because it got a little bit muddled and I do apologize. So let's do it again. 1, 2 and 3. Close the jump rings. So we're going to come in with 1 jump ring. We're going to add on 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to close. Oops, we're going to close them. Okay, they are then going to lay out like this. So I'm going to actually pin them so they stay where they're meant to stay. Move everything out of the way so you can see exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so the new jump rings we're going to add are going to go through the eye here, through the eye here, and then just to the side here. If you place it down, you're not going to lose it like I did. So I dropped it, and I think that's where we confused everyone. So I'm going to come straight up and come up or through, whichever way. I want to go through the eye of those 2. And if you pin it down like this, you're not going to get, it's not going to get lost. Through the eye of 2 and 3. And then through the eye. Oh, I used the wrong linking colour. I used the wrong colour then, sorry. So I'm going to remove that and replace that. So through the eye of 1 and 2. Use the right colour this time, Laura. Through the eye of 2 and 3. And then through the eye, not through the eye, sorry, just on the edge of that last jump ring, on that 1 jump ring only. So not going through the eye. There you go. And there you have 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so that is kind of how it's looking at the moment. All right, so it's easier to pin it, and then you go 1, 2 and 3 that just hang next to each other. Then your new jump ring goes through the eye of 1 and 2. The second one goes through the eye of 2 and 3, and then the third one just sits on the edge of the third one. So jump ring 1 goes through the eye of 1 and 2. Jump ring 2 goes through the eye of 2 and 3. And then a third jump ring is just added on its own to that third jump ring. The next thing we want to do now is to connect them. So what we effectively want to do is we need to connect jump ring 1 to jump ring 3, and then we just need to connect them all together. So we need to add 3 more jump rings. Let's see if I can get my camera to stay lower for me. No. Okay. Doesn't want to stay down that far. Okay, so the next one, so if we pick up another jump ring now and collect the edge of number 1 and the edge of number 2, it's going to trap the third one in the middle. So effectively what we want to do, if I take this out now and hold this up, it hangs, when it hangs, we need it to form a triangle, and we just need to connect those sides. So if I show you the one that we did that did connect, you'll see how it's going to eventually just connect to the edges of all three. So I'm going to hold this how I want this to go. You can almost form it out with your fingers at this point. And what we want to do is connect these two together, these two together, and then these two together. So we can just connect these two together. Flipping over on me now. So I'm just going to come up and around. Collect those edges. You just want to hold it around, and it will fit. It's just giving a little tiny bit of grief. It basically wants to sit like that. That's it. It really is just the beginning bit that is the trickiest bit. Once you've got this, it's fine. Collect two. Collect the two. And collect two. I will show you the flower with the wire as well. You may find that easier. There's a couple of different ways, but they've been collected, and then it just leaves those two silvers there, because if you hold it, you can see they're not connected. So it's just those two silvers there that now need to be connected. And they just go through and connect. Then when you drop it down, you will have your sort of flower, which is going to go through that pattern of just connecting side to side. When you hold it upside down like this, it hangs better, and you can see those connection points. When you hang it upside down, you'll see your connection points will be here, they'll be here, and then they will be here. Okay, so I'll show you quickly the way that you can do it as well with the sort of wire, because there is another way that you can do this. It's just finding a way that suits you, really, but it's just about connecting. So I'm going to show you a different way, which is just taking some wire and pop it on 1, 2, 3 of your jump rings closed, twisting them, the wire, until it's sort of, and place it out into that flower shape. So you've almost got your flower like so. And again, you just connect. So you connect through here, through here, and then through here. So I'll show you with that. So we can connect through here, through here, and then just connecting. I will tidy those jump rings up in a moment. Through these two, and then you need to repeat that again. So once you've done that once, you've got 1, 2, 3 flowers sort of laid out, and then again you connect the same way. So you connect come on camera, she's not playing the games because it's stuff. Come on. So the next one you would connect through these two, through these two, and then through these two. That may be an easier way. It's just personal preference. The other way does work nicely and give you a good start, but it just wasn't playing the game very well for me tonight. So I'm just going to let it go back to this way, which decided to work perfectly for me. Always the way. I'm going to show this way again, just for clarification. So that's your chain started again. And there's your chain sort of ready to go. And then we'll add the beads, okay? So I'm going to show that way one more time, just to be 100% sure how we're doing this. I'm just taking some 0.4, and I'm going 1, 2, and 3. The difference between the two different ways is with this way we have to find a sort of start to it because it doesn't have the start, but with this way it kind of creates the start for you. But this way it is definitely a take your time and look at where those jump rings are going, and again making sure maybe having a couple of different colors just to know which row is which. I'm going to just start this again. So for this one I'm going to have these 3 jump rings put onto that wire and twisted. It's only a 0.4, and then I'm going to just kind of space them out so they sit like a little flower, okay? And then we just go connect one side to the other, let it go and close, hold it back out, one side to the other, so connecting this side to this side, and let it drop. It's if you let it drop that it can get confusing. And then finally the last 2 can collect together, and then your next row, so you can drop it upside down. I like to put it back into my hand so that I can get that little flower shape again. Thanks, Tracy. It is do you know what, once you start beading around the beads, it's so easy. It's the start that gets it. It's the start. And hopefully by this you can sort of see what I mean as well about the way that the jump rings should just be kind of connecting. So 2 together, drop it down. At this point you should be able to hold it, let it drop, and see where those jump rings should go. And then if you're ever in doubt, you can hold it and you'll see there's that little gap. Come on, camera, focus for me. And I can see that that's where my next jump ring is due to go. Okay, and that's 1, 2, and 3. So that's basically your inverted chain. It will continue to go down like that. And just to show you that that is what the little section that we've done here looks like. It just takes a moment to get there. Okay, so once you've got your beads, what you want to do is just have enough that you can kind of find the top of that loop. Sometimes I pop a bit of wire on it just to feed it through. Let's see exactly where we're going. And now I'm going to just bring this up into this section that we just did here. And you just want to kind of feed that wire through. Maybe join it up with the last bit. And you just want this to sort of sit and drop down over those beads. We can fine tune it afterwards, but for now I'm just going to twist those 2 wires together. And again, you can, even if you haven't got a wire and you've done it the first way, you can still bring wire through. Okay, and those 3 jump rings are kind of just sat now. Can you see how they're kind of capping that bead? So now, believe it or not, this is actually the easiest part is connect one. Why are you doing this to my laptop? My camera's getting really finicky. So make sure it's got nothing to upset it. Right, so we go from one side to the other and close. And we just continue going around. So just making sure you've got that tension. Every time I pick it up, I don't know if you notice, I'm just pulling those wires to make sure it's got that tension. So I now need to go from side to side. Now I'm not closing these brilliantly because I'm just trying to make sure the camera doesn't go too out of shot, but you will take better time and you can hold it right up to your eyes, which is something that I can't currently do. Just keep making sure you get that tension, hold that nice and tight and let those jump rings drop down, and I can see that the next one is where those two golds are together, and then jump ring straight through. This is the easiest part. Once you have got started, can you see how they're now dropping down? So let's go around again. Ooh, monkey. So through the two and close, through the two and close. Just think that every row will have 3 jump rings because you're connecting 3 sides. So collect and close, and now that's starting to drop down over those pearls, and we just continue in that same pattern. So placing that down, getting some more of my ready opened jump rings and just going along, close, and then around and close. Oops. And then one more side. See how easy it, once you get that section started, and that is also why I say have a starter section ready, because it's so much easier once you've done it once to have a little section ready to go. But can you see now how easy this is to continue around? And as I said, I practiced that other way before I actually started the live, and it worked absolutely perfect. And then obviously the moment I went to go on camera, the jump rings decided to play me up a little bit. And you know what, that's the way things go sometimes, isn't it? There's a nice alternative way that we can do it with the wires, and it is a slightly easier way, but it just means that you've got to do a bit of finessing at the beginning, because obviously you don't have that start made. So see how we're just continuing around now, and it will just cage down around those beads beautifully. So I'm just bringing this around, bringing this around, and bringing this around. So continuing it around, and then you do need quite a lot of jump rings. It does use quite a lot of jump rings, hence why you've got 3 bags. It uses just over 1 bag per piece, so about 1.5 bags per bracelet. So it does use quite a lot of jump rings, but it is a very cool and effective look. I mean, I'm just doing this flat down so hopefully you can see it. Okay, and bring that around and bring that around, and you just keep going and see how now we've got that section, and that's going to be quite locked in there. Now what happened to me, so I can push that right up, or if I didn't want that starter bit, I could let it drop down a little bit and then plan to sort of unpick that starter bit. So you can sort of play about with this a little bit. Okay, and then you always want there to be 3 jump rings sort of dropped. Okay, so I want to make sure that there are 3 jump rings around the bottom. I mean, you could jazz your pattern up a bit. You could do You could go with mainly one couple of rows in one color, and then just add a little splash of another color, because the beauty of this is it is simply rose. So that little splash of gold, and then carry back down with that silver round once, and just keep going until you have got this completely covered, really, until you've got the length. Just be aware that sometimes as well, when you are building this chain, just the pearls can drop, so you might give them a little shift up and realize, oh, actually I've done more than I realized. But see how that's just literally, that's one little section. And then let's just very quickly talk about how we've got all of this. So let's say I've done all of this and I've gotten to the end. What I would actually do, let me go to one of my finished pieces. So when you get to the end, you actually get to the point where you just add 3 extra jump rings. Let me undo this bit and you'll be able to see. So we've gotten to the end. Now I'm going to be very careful because the crimp was in it. So can you see how it's 1 row of jump rings, 1, 2 and 3 past that last bead, but you can see if you look in there that the loop from that is there, so we can catch and secure that. So I take my next jump ring and I go through. I just kind of try to catch all of them, including that little loop. You just want to kind of just catch all 3 of those jump rings and then add your clasp straight on. Okay, and then if you go to the other end, what you would do is you would basically be unpicking it so that you're back and almost having that mirror look. So you unpick that start. So let's go back over to this. What you would do is, if you've got a start like this, you can simply carefully make sure that it's just the wires that I'm cutting and not the actual loop. That's fine, just checking. And then just give that a little wiggle, and then give that a little wiggle here, and then you can see what I mean, how you're able, because there's actually 2 rows of length there. So what I would do, obviously remember this would be completely chain mailed down, so a lot more stable. I would just undo that last row, so just take that last row of jump rings off. So I'll take that 1, don't use your fingers. Sometimes I think I'm super invincible and I can use my fingers, and I cannot do that. These are very solid, sturdy jump rings, which is fantastic. Okay, so then you see I'm back at that same stage where I've got 1 row of jump rings past bead, and there is my tiger tail section with that loop. And what I would do is just go, okay, cool, let's get my jump ring, and I'm going to just collect, sort of drop them into a little cluster. Just try and collect them the best way that you can, basically. Sometimes it could be negotiated just because you're trying to collect all those jump rings and that loop, but you can do it. And then I would, of course, add on my toggle. Now I can, of course, with this now, continue going down and actually that pattern with it ready to go. So if you are doing it that way, or even if you're, you know, starting it, it's quite nice to get that section started, because now it's nice and secure and I can just go, okay, cool. I'm just going to do one more row just to show how easy it is just to pop it down and then pick it back up, collect those 2 edges, rotate it round, collect your 2 edges, and collect those 2 edges. Make sure your jump rings don't flip up. Can you see how this jump ring has flipped up? And I can see because it's stopping me. So hi Kieran. So I'm just going to make sure all my jump rings are laying down, facing down, before I put this last one in. And there it is, it's in and connected. So they can flip up like that. Just tip it upside down, give it a little shake, and it will work fine. And we'll just do one more row just for fun. So connecting your 2 edges, and it is, just to clarify, just those 2 edges. You don't want to catch any other jump ring in amongst this. Rotate round, do the next 2 edges. Okay, and you can close this, and then one more, last one, pop that down and close. And as I said, you just carry on going all the way down. I'm sorry it got a little bit confusing at the very beginning, but definitely sit down and have a go when it's a little bit, you know, when you're doing it by yourself and you're not trying to watch and listen. It will make sense, hopefully. But also, if in doubt, get the wire out and just do that little flower, and you just go straight into the weave. So hopefully that makes sense. The weave itself is so super easy. Just that initial getting started can just be the tiniest bit tricky. So I hope that that's okay. But you can see there, I just continue all the way down now and finish that the same way I have the others. Here are your finished designs, here and here. There's loads of lovely colorways to go from. You do get a free PDF. You do get the video tutorial. I am around for you to ask questions if you need to ask questions. That's a rogue open prepared jump ring jumped in there. This is your finished end result. I do always recommend that you just go along and just fill that chainmail. Make sure there's no little edges that you may have missed if you haven't closed those jump rings properly, just because it is a very visual make. And as I said, I am on Facebook, Laura Binding. If you have any questions, you are of course always welcome to contact me, and also through Totally Beads as well. What did we say, $6.99 for the kit that makes 2 bracelets. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this project. It is a beautiful project. Definitely give it a go. Please give it a go. Check out the website. I'm going to go and do some BeadClub now, but thank you as always. I am having a little break because I am off on holiday, so I will see you now in September. But as always, thank you very much. Kieran, the PDF is downloadable on purchase, I believe, of the kit. Okay, any questions, let us know, and I will speak to you all very, very soon, and I will see you in September. So have a great, lovely